Hello, everyone. John Williams here, Associate Wealth Advisor with Bautis Financial. Just checking in here with a quick tutorial on your Wealth Center website. If you're not actually set up on this website yet, of course, reach out to us. We'll get you all set up. If you are, you're probably realizing there's a lot of features on here that can really benefit you for getting your financial world organized. And from time to time, we'll be putting together these videos to show you some of its features. Today, we're going to be looking at its budgeting feature. And this feature is really helpful for a lot of reasons. But one is just to kind of give you a better idea of what your cash flow situation is like, money coming in, money going out, give you a little bit of a better picture as to some of the things you're spending on. Maybe there's some areas that you might be able to identify where you could tighten things up a bit and just have a little bit of better control as to, like I said, that money coming in and the money going out. On the screen here, what you're seeing is this is basically the page that you would see when you first log into. And on the left here, you can see there's all the different accounts. This is actually showing an account. It's obviously a fictitious account that we set up just for the presentation purposes, but this is set up with connections. And again, there'll be another video as to how that all works. But basically what that is your accounts, all your accounts, whether it be checking accounts, savings accounts, and retirement accounts connected, uploaded, or basically the username and passwords put into the website, so you actually have real-time data coming in. More importantly, for what our purposes today is the actual, let's say, the checking account and the savings account, especially the ones that you use the most for your spending. And here you can see, like I said, this is basically the cash and the credit cards and all these things are those accounts already set up, and you'll be able to add those different accounts here as maybe you open up new accounts. You can manage all that here, but the next step where we want to go next is basically going to be under this spending tab here. And here, once you get into here, you're going to see that because it's I'm actually recording this the first of the month, it's not showing a whole lot because there hasn't been a whole lot of spending. But you can, on the left here, actually filter this out by the time frame that you actually want to be able to look at, all the information you want to look at. So just for the sake of seeing what this would look like, we'll change this over to last month. And here you can see, once you have this all set up, pretty cool picture of basically the different categories. You'll see, which we'll get to in a minute, that will basically show you all the areas that you're spending. So just kind of give you an idea, just in general, not necessarily specific transactions, which again, we'll get to in a minute, but this will give you just a snapshot of where you're at in that time period you choose. Good place to start here there, once your accounts are connected, is in the transactions section here. And here you'll see, this is the last 30 days, you'll see basically every transaction that came in from all the accounts. You can also filter it out by a specific account if you want to kind of see the transactions within that account. But probably best practice is to stay with all the accounts and go through all these different transactions to make sure they're categorized correctly. And what that's going to mean is, you can see here, there's the category here. It'll of course show the account where that transaction occurred, and then the value that went in or out into that account. So when we click on this category area, you're going to see there's going to be this drop down box, cash withdrawal over here. It's picking up and was either set or already. Sometimes that actually picks up on because of the description. It's sometimes pretty smart. It can actually categorize it for you, but you're going to want to go in here through all these accounts and make sure that it's categorizing it correctly. So just scroll through all these. Staples might be a perfect example, where here it's a business expense, but let's say if you came in here and it just didn't pick up on it, it might be under a different category, and if it is indeed a business expense, you're going to want to categorize that, and just make sure that everything is categorizing correctly here. So when we do get around to building the budgets, it's all funneling into the right bucket. That should be pretty straightforward. And then once we have all those set up, And before I move on, I want to say that you do want to come in here, even though it probably, like, if you shop at Wawa Town, which for your Philadelphia area people, there's a if you shop there quite often and it was categorized under fast food and convenience, it will pick up on those things. But from time to time, there will be a handful of things in here that it won't quite pick up on. So it is best practice to come in here and check on the transactions, once every week or month or so, just to make sure it's all going in the correct place. Once we have that all set up, we can go in here into budgets. And here you'll see there's going to be different areas where you can identify different spending levels. The overall budget at the top here will actually be a total of your entire budget that you set up here. So for instance, if you see the auto and transport, the bills, the business, cash, education, all that stuff will total up. And then at the top here, it'll show you your total budget. Again, we don't have a lot of data for this month. We'll look at last month just to kind of give us a better idea of what it would look like. As you can see here, this budget that was set up here, the total budget, they fell quite short, but this will be a barometer for the entire month. And when you come in here, you can actually you can set up these different budgets by adding a budget over here. Okay, and what that is okay, so right now this is basically telling me that you can only add a budget, which makes perfect sense, obviously, because of within the month you're in. So to show that feature, I'm going to go back to this month to kind of show you how we can add a budget to this. Now, what you're seeing here is these are all added in this way already. So they set that up in the way that they saw fit at the time. But if we wanted to go in here and add another, let's say that's charity, and say we wanted to, per month, our budget was $200 a month. We're basically going to add that in. Click add, and then you'll see that will get added to the list here. And then as we're moving through this and we're keeping track of our spending, we can once it's added, we can come in here and decide, let's say, all right, well, I feel like maybe 2,253 was a little too much. Let's say I want to adjust that to just, let's say, an even 2,000. And we can come in here and adjust that. And you can also you can pop in here on your handheld and kind of see how you're doing, or you can actually set up alerts in your settings, which I'm gonna get into alerts in a different video. But one of the cool features is you can actually set up alerts to actually let you know that you're getting close to the end of a budget. It'll send you can set it up to send you a quick little email saying, hey, look, just so you know, you either went over budget or you're pretty close to your hitting your budget. An example of that might be, like, let's say a perfect example would be going out to dinner. Let's say you're saying, all right, I feel like we've been spending a lot of money on going out, and you have an idea of what that amount is. You can set that budget and set an alert on that budget to let you know that you're approaching that amount that you didn't want to necessarily go over in that month. And if it's the last week of the month, you can make a decision according to how you might want to take care of whether you want to go over that budget or not. But at least it's a good way to kind of keep track of everything that's important to you at that point. That's it for now. Of course, you can contact us with any questions you may have. Again, my name is John Williams, Bautis Financial Associate Wealth Advisor. My email, if you want to reach out to me directly, is john, JOHN, @bautisfinancial.com. And I can be reached directly at 973-370-4830. Everyone have a great day. Thanks.